Hey my friends, it's been a minute since I've been on, but I'm feeling good and I want to get back into some messages from the universe. So this message today is going to be a little different because it will not be tarot or oracle cards. It's strictly from meditation, and I got plethora of notes because it was a lot of deep information, but I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to get right into it. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm the Mystic Mover. I'm a spiritual healer and an energy coach. And go ahead and share, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So what I received during meditation was seasons. With every season, there is something different that transpires to indicate to you that a new season is here. If you didn't have your calendar, if you didn't know that today's the first day of fall, today's the first day of summer, winter, spring, you would know by the changes in the earth. One of the big things that Spirit was speaking to me about is our human nature to be in a hurry. The things that are taking place right now, there are no shortcuts. So it's in your best interest to slow down on everything that you want. Yes, I understand that we're ready for change. We're hungry for it. We feel it. We know that something is coming and it is making us anxious. However, the Spirit is letting you know, do not get in a hurry. I'm previewing things for you so that you'll know this is what you have to look forward to, not to lose hope. But any shortcut that you try to attempt in this moment is going to lead you to a dead end. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be wondering, why am I still in this area? And it's simply because you have entered a new season. And in this new season, the power of your identity is changing dramatically. It's emerging, it's growing, it's blossoming. It's just like having delicate flowers that need special attention. They don't bloom right away, but they bloom over time as we nurture, as we care, and as we make sure that we're giving the appropriate attention to them. The power from generations, from your ancestors, from just deep lineage type power is now being transferred over to you. And what that means is there is a rebirthing process. You're going to need instructions on how to use this power. If you wake up today and you know how to shoot lightning at your hand, or if you get angry and every time you're angry you shoot out thunder, you're going to have to learn how to control that anger so that you're not destructive to your own self, to others, because the power is not meant for you to be destructive to yourself or to others. The power is for you to walk into it gracefully with the knowledge and understanding on how to use this power. This power is coming to you because you've asked for it. You've commanded it. You have you've planted seeds and desires within yourself that have now decided to start to sprout. However, just because we ask for power does not mean that we know how to operate in it. So this is why Spirit is saying, do not be in a hurry for anything. Yes, you are invincible. Yes, things are coming to you in miraculous ways, but also too much is given, much is going to be required, and you are in a school of power, understanding how to use your superpower. There is also a sense of your power transferring from your mind, which you've been thinking like, oh, I would like this, or, you have these thoughts and these downloads that really connect you to things that make you really ambitious about a certain thing or passionate in a certain area. And what the Spirit is doing now with that power that you have let sit in your mind is transferring it over to the Spirit. You are going to be limitless. There's not going to be anything that you speak out of your mind, that you think from your head, that you touch, that does not turn into gold. And with a person who has that type of immaculate power, you have to be very conscious and understanding of what you're doing, because you do not want to use your power to call things into your life that you're not ready for, or things in your life that is going to be detrimental to the power continuing to grow. Soul contracts are awakening. Whatever contract you signed before you incarnated onto this earth, they're now starting to awake. And this is why that power is transferring from the mind to the spirit. That's going to make you feel tired. It's going to make you feel nauseous. It's going to make you stop eating, or make you start eating more. It's going to make you want to move. It's going to make you feel out of place in some way or another, because you know that something is changing. However, don't be in a hurry. So there's an activation of generational power that is happening. Think about the sun energy, big fire energy. When we know when it's day, because the sun rises and it brings light. Whatever was happening in the midst of the dark, whenever light comes in, anything that is dark and evil, it runs, it scatters. Something that is not in its right place, it moves. And by this generational activation of power happening, is just like the sun energy. Things are starting to move. Things are starting to realign themselves and shift for the benefit of you. And just because things do not move straight to your bank account, you don't move straight into your new home, that does not mean you are less powerful in any way. What it is alerting you of is that there are going to be some things that are going to shift within your being, within your environment, within your mind, within your relationships. That is like the sun when it rises. It is time for things to move. Things that have been holding space in your life that no longer have the capacity to hold you, or the capacity to vibrate within your power, they have to move. There was a big energy of releasing the idea of failure and mistakes. You do not know it all, and you're never going to know it all. That's not the reason that you're here. That is not, you're not the all-knowing. There's only one all-knowing, and that's not you, and that is okay. Releasing control is how you activate this power. Release the illusion of perfectionism. Nothing is perfect. Everything is experimental. Everything that you're doing right now is going to be experimental, because you are learning how to use your power. You don't know yet what this power is, but it is being revealed to you in increments, and you have to be okay with that. You can't eat the whole hamburger with one bite. You gotta take bites, chew, because if you chew it all in one bite, what? It's gonna cause some type of complications on the inside of you, or even detrimental things such as choking. So understand that some of your ideas right now will prosper, some of them will not. The ones that are prospering have already built a certain momentum of energy to support you during this activation. However, the ideas that are not as prosperous are as others. You're still going to be rewarded for trying. You're still going to reap some sort of benefit, even if you don't see the outcome that you want, because you release the control. And control in this situation, when our ideas are not as fertile as we desire, is called control. I release the need to control the way in which an outcome happens for me. And by me doing that, the spirit still rewards me because I remain faithful. Your reactions, baby, they're priority right now. Nothing is disrupting you. Nothing. You should start showing up in your life as that powerful sun energy that is being activated on the inside of you. Disregard people who are uncomfortable with your process, uncomfortable with your change, your growth, your knowledge, your transformation. Disregard them, folks. Because I can tell you one thing, anybody who is more focused on your process and what you're doing, they're not focused enough on their own, meaning that they are causing detriment to their own purpose and path. And if you entertain that type of energy, then now you jump on the boat with them. Keep your focus in alignment with what it is that you desire. Your evolution is your responsibility. People who don't get it, who don't understand it, who ain't feeling it, that's not really their business, and it's not your business to entertain it. So declare what you want and stand on it, because this is where the power is coming. If you are not 10 toes down on what it is that you are calling forth or desiring or building in your own arena, then the power has nowhere to settle. The power is just rolling around you, just spinning around you, never settling and gaining root. So who you want to be, how you want to show up, all of these things should be prominent going forward now, because you're in an activation. There is a subconscious and conscious wealth transfer and rebirth. So what I mean by subconscious, the subconscious is reactivating, is being healed, it's receiving openness, where it's more open to things that it wasn't necessarily open to maybe even a month ago, maybe even a year ago, whatever the case may be for you. The conscious mind is now rebirthing and aligning with what has been washed away subconsciously. And this is important because now you see things differently, you think differently, and it's not a time to second guess these thoughts. It's a time to reflect, observe, gain an understanding, look at another perspective, and be open to what that perspective is giving you, because this is very important. Allow events to unfold. You cannot control what happens going forward. I don't care if somebody told you that the check was going to be there in 30 days and it still ain't there. You don't get to control it. And the moment that you get yourself caught up in control, you lose power. Remember, releasing control is the power going forward right now. Surrender. That's the word that I received. Surrender. Surrender. That's the same thing that I just said, control. You're not going to be able to control these things. You're in a school of learning how to be a powerful spirit. You don't know how to do these things, so by you trying to control them, or by you trying to be really the puppet master over what happens, then you're not open to ways in which you didn't know would be necessary. Also, everything that you need is going to find you at the perfect time. There is nothing that you're going to need, even if you feel right now, I could use this, I could use that. It may not be the time for any of that. That's the reason why it has not shown up, because the spirit has let me know that everything will find you at the time when it is ripe and right. So there's a shift happening in the mentality. So this goes back to the subconscious and conscious transfer, or subconscious rebirth. The mentality is changing. And when the mentality changes, the beliefs change. And now we have a new wave of power, because I'm not stuck in a box. I'm not confined to things being a certain way. I'm more open. And when you become as open as this, you now take on your role as co-creator. We always talk about co-creation, but there are certain attributes of co-creation that must take place in order for us to be able to fully understand where we are. There's going to be an emotional release so that you can continue on your path. And when I mean emotional release, I mean of the negative things. If you've been set back, you may have experienced some frustration. If you've been heartbroken, you may be experiencing some grief. But with all of this, please take time to dwell in those emotions and understand why I'm feeling this way and what I do not like, because the emotions is nothing but the nervous system talking to you, your higher self speaking to you. And what the spirit is going to allow is for all of these emotions to be built up on the inside of you so that you can release them, so that you can continue on your path of activation with a clean slate. I've made terms with certain experiences in my life, and now I'm ready to embody new things. So self-control. The only thing that you finna be really in control of is self. You gotta control self. So you're walking into new levels of wealth, period. And wealth is not just financial, not money. Wealthy in ideas, wealthy in your spirit, wealthy in your aura. Animals attracted to you. Things that normally run from the human are gravitating towards you. Wealthy in your health, wealthy in your rest, wealthy, all things of abundance, 888, okay? And with these new levels of wealth, you have to understand that you're now a target. And there are temptations at this level still. All the work you've done, there's still more temptation to come and try to disturb you from the vibration that you're in. And you have to be fully in alignment with yourself to know that I will not allow anything to disturb my vibration. You cannot be impressed by who is doing what, who has a certain amount of status, who is doing whatever they're doing. No. Don't be impressed by anything but yourself, but your spirit, but your gifts and your relationship with your higher self. Impressions of the outside materialistic world are being cut off. And they're being cut off to prevent you from being so self-centered and so into materialistic things that you're not gaining spiritual wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The spirit is running the show. Yes, you are entitled to all things luxurious, but you're not to glorify those things. Glorifying those things does something to the vibration that lowers it, and you don't want to be in that. You want to be in a place where you're fully grateful and thankful for what you have in your life, because it's going to bring more of that to you. And it wants you to be, or spirit wants you to be able to sit in places of wealth, in places of luxury, and be comfortable, not be uncomfortable, not think that I need more, not just keep being greedy and hungry. That's not the reasons why spirit is going to introduce you to any of these things. Right? And the level in which spirit is going to move you up to push you in a completely new bracket. And when you're in this new bracket, you have to have a certain type of mindset and mentality in order to not get drowned in what's happening, or drown out what spirit is trying to tell you. Because even when you do reach a certain amount of wealth in your overall life, you're going to still need spiritual guidance, because now you're going to need it more then than you needed it when you had it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have people coming after you. You're going to have people wanting to gravitate towards you. Fakes, demons with smiles. And you need to be able to know those spirits. Last but not least, in my meditation, creative blocks are being removed. Your creativity is your connection to your abundance. If you're not feeling creative, or you're feeling creatively stuck, you can expect these things to be removed from you. This is a part of this power activation. When I say walking in new levels of wealth, that is because abundance will be shown to you in a plethora of ways. And when abundance is shown to you in a plethora of ways, that is because we have connected to our creative self. We don't see things for what they are. We see things like an alchemist. We create what we want. We're the shapeshifters of everything that is transpiring in our life right now. And as the co-creator, you become fully in alignment with all things of creation. Creation is abundance. And that is why you are having to go through a power activation. The power activation touches the subconscious and conscious mind, and it removes all of these blocks that we have experienced up until this point in our life. And it really shapes, like, if these are my hands and I need this movement in order for it to click, this is what's happening with this power shift. It's slowly moving. And even though things are not showing you in your life that they're moving, oh, they're moving. They're moving, and the spirit wants you to know that they're moving rapidly. And that is why you have to surrender. Deal with your emotional processing. Surrender being in control. Wanting to create an outcome so bad that you have to control every aspect of it, because that's not what we're doing right now. The spirit is in control, and it is eliminating a lot of the ego self in order for you to be able to shine bright and to be open when these things come to you. Yes, that's everything that I had. And going forward, focus on yourself. Desires and dreams and wishes, yes, they're important, but there takes a certain level of the human participation for these things to finally manifest in our lives. And that's where you are now, friends. You are going into a power activation, and I am so happy to channel these messages specifically for you. If you like this message, before you leave this video, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Talk to me. Let's gain an understanding. I appreciate every single comment that I get, every single like, every single share. But until next time, you guys, be well.